Right, sorted my camp out. Give you a little tour. So I've set up a simple lean-to, my 3x3 meter tarp. I've got another ground tarp down there. Got my quilt and my whole setup and my clothes, and Bruce is off running around somewhere. Got a lamp. Got my little stove. I'm gonna have a fire later, but I've got my stove ready just to cook up some water. Bit of a nightmare. It's cold. Oops. Cold, and everything's wet around here. See if I can angle this right for you. You can tell I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't done this before. There you go. Right. So I want to cook up some water. What I do is just stoke this fire a bit. And that's nice and hot. Now, put that on, and on goes my water. Now, I've got to keep feeding this fire. It's the gases that are actually igniting in there. So you have to keep topping it up to keep those gases up. I don't know what you'd call it, a twig stove, I guess. It's pretty hot in there. This is quite damp stuff. Very difficult to find dry stuff around here. I'll show you where I am shortly. I'm sorry that you've got a view of my crotch, but probably better than seeing my face. Don't know if you can see the flames from there at all. Probably can. Doesn't look like it, but it's giving off a hell of a lot of heat. A lot of condensation dripping onto it. You can probably hear. I think there was some ice on the bottom. So I've just got to wait for that to all ignite again. I'll show you my little spot. I'm in a sort of little dell here. Sun is just going down, if you can make that out. And it's so peaceful. So peaceful. Don't know if you can see through the bushes my view. I've got Bruce here as well. He's going absolutely ballistic in the tussocks. See where he is. Here he comes. Hey Brucey, you say hello to everybody. What have you been up to? Been chasing shadows. Come here. You're a good boy, aren't you, hey? Got a bed for him for later. Go on then. Dinner time soon, Bruce. You want your dinner soon? Mm-hmm. Not yet. Not yet. Later. Yeah, so that's my little setup. It's going to be dark soon. It's almost 5 o'clock. Looking forward to getting this fire cranking. Doesn't need to last very long. Got the good gear. Just enough to have my drink, my cigar. That's it really. All right, I'll come back to you later. Oh. You see us okay there? See Brucey here. He's been running around. He's pretty tired now. Still got my stove on. Yeah, Brucey, it's your dinner time soon, isn't it? Just having a cup of soup. It's got cold. Sun's gone in. Much colder. In fact, it's that much colder. Time for a proper hat. I think it's time to light the fire. Oh, that's hot. Too hot. So it's quite early still. I think it's only about 5 o'clock. But it's -1. So pretty cold. Hands are cold. I need to get that fire cranking. So that's my next mission. Isn't it, Brucey? So hopefully, when I come back, the fire's going. And I've had some of my soup. So, as you can see, I've got the thick hat on. It's cold. I haven't looked at the temperature yet, but I think it's about -4. I've got the fire cranking. It's giving off nice heat. Got some water on the boil. Brucey's on his dog bed. Pretty relaxed. He doesn't seem to feel the cold. Not yet anyway. Maybe tonight he will. I'm gonna chuck a blanket on him. Yeah, so it's dinner time. Can you see me? I know, I must look quite funny. Yeah, it's dinner time. And tonight is backcountry cuisine, honey soy chicken. It's very good. I've got it just warming. Actually, it's already done. It's in my sleeping bag. Honey soy chicken by Backcountry Cuisine. Actually, let me eat it and I'll tell you what it's like. Right, don't know if you can see me. Backcountry Cuisine. Now, usually you're meant to open this pack right at the bottom, but I've got a long spoon. So, let's see how this is. Hat's getting right on my nerves, I have to say. I'm sorry about the odd angle. I don't have all the equipment. One day, I'll have a proper tripod and I can mount a proper camera, but right now, I'm just using my iPhone on a camera case. Oh God, that's good. Oh, it's so good. Honey soy chicken. Thoroughly recommend it. Yeah. I've had it before. But it's so warming. Somebody's watching me. I don't know what's in it. There's chilies in it, I think. You can't have any. This fire is giving off pretty decent heat. Move a bit closer soon and warm my feet up. They're a bit cold. So yeah, freezing cold. -3, -4. Living the dream. One night in real bush. Just a tarp. No tent. Perfect. Still night. Snow on the ground. Little fire. Got my hip flask. Warming the brandy up. I've got Bruce with me. He's having a great time, aren't you, Bruce? Having a good time? He's had a great time. I don't want him to get cold tonight. Not that worried about him. He sleeps outside anyway. He sleeps in the kennel. He doesn't have a blanket or anything there. And it's the same temperature there. So, I just don't want him to be cold. I'm sure he'll be all right. I'll let him snuggle up with me. I might chuck this jacket on him if he does feel cold, but right now he looks absolutely fine. I'm going to give him another feed just before bed. Stoke the furnace. It's important. So after this, I've got a hot chocolate and a tin of cream rice. Chocolate rice pudding. Just a little tin, just a bit of a treat. I worked hard today. It was a big climb and I got up here quite fast. And after that I'm going to lie in bed and listen to the rest of my Audible book. Right now I'm listening to Bill Bryson, Down Under. He goes to Australia. And yeah, it's very good. Walk in the Woods was the first Bill Bryson book I read. And when I switched to Audible, because I saw, it was Joe Robinette recommended Audible. So I had a look at it. And you know what? It is actually pretty great. So, yeah, I listen to that now. And the twig stove with the hexed tablets. Got that idea from the Outdoor Gear Review. What's his name? You know, I've watched so many of his videos, of his YouTube videos. Can't remember his name at all. TOGR, Outdoor Gear Review. What is his name? Anyway, if you haven't seen him, check him out. He's really good. I like Joe Robinette as well, but I've started watching a few others now, of different ones, who are just as good, if not better. Joe has a habit of just randomly bleating on, but also looking directly at himself all the time in the screen. If I could give Joe one piece of advice, it would be close the damn screen so he can't see himself. Because it's quite disrespectful. You know, you're just looking at yourself the whole time, talking to yourself. And it looks weird. It looks really weird. Imagine if movie stars did that. Probably do that. Probably want to do that. Anyway. So the other ones I've been listening to, Matthew Poser with his dog, Monty. He's hilarious. I tell you what, he's a hard worker. Gets out there. He does a lot of work. He does a lot of video work. And he always cooks up something special. Not a huge fan of the massive fishing things he does. It kind of bores me a bit because it's just constant fishes. And he doesn't do any bushcraft when he's fishing, so I find it a bit dull. But his other videos are great. Who else? Justin Barber. He's got a dog as well. 2 dogs. I liked him. That was quick. Because of him, I bought the dog backpack, which has worked out really, really well. Isn't it, Bruce? You like that. Carry your own food. Hot chocolate time. Who else have I been watching that's good? Bits and bobs. Just bits and bobs. There are some serious outdoor guys, bushcraft guys. Trouble is, they've just got no personality. I mean, that's a bit nasty. I don't mean that. I just mean they don't have the kind of personality that I think makes it on YouTube. You know, Joe's done very well because he's quirky. And that personality works well. Matthew Poser, though, I find even more entertaining, especially with Monty. I think that guy's hilarious, and he's such a hard worker. I think Joe just takes himself a little bit too seriously, but I still like him. I still like watching cool stuff he does. But, yeah. I prefer his old stuff to his new stuff, to be honest. Right, talking of bleating on and on and on, so I'm going to have this hot chocolate now. With some condensed milk. Gotta have the condensed milk. Actually, I'm surprised that wasn't frozen. I'm gonna have my hot chocolate. I've had my feed. I'm gonna let Bruce go and have another scout around. I'm sure he needs to go to the toilet and stuff like that. I know I do. And then I guess it's listen to my book in bed. My quilt, which is going to be freezing at first. So I've got the Enlightened Equipment Revelation stock. It is stock, but I ordered long and wide. I'm glad I did. A, I've got wide shoulders. I'm not a small guy. B, I'm 6 foot. And they're standard. I wouldn't have been able to snuggle up under it. So I'm glad I did. Because once I got it, I tried it, and it's perfect. If I'd gone standard, it wouldn't have been big enough. So I think if you're, that's good. I think if you're quite a bit less than 6 foot, you can go for standard. And I think if you're skinny, you can go for normal. That being said, if you like to toss and turn and sleep on your side and sleep on your front and stuff like that, go wide. You need the room. They're not built for side sleepers by default. You need wide for that. So don't believe the hype out there. But we'll see what it's like warmth-wise, because its temperature rating is minus 12 degrees centigrade. And I've heard bad reports about them. Well, tonight it's only getting down to minus 4, minus 5, maybe minus 6. But we'll see. It's a clear sky, so it will be cold. All right, I've rambled on enough. I don't think there's much more to report for tonight. I think I'll come back to you tomorrow morning, unless something happens tonight. All right. Good night.
Morning. That was an interesting night. Oh, I got in the sleeping bag, I listened to audiobook, fell asleep, woke up about an hour later, and I was cold. And it turns out what I'd done was I'd got the straps wrong on the quilt. I had two, in summer or in autumn or whatever, I can usually have two straps, both straps, going around the sleeping mat. But in winter, what you actually have to do is only have one strap going around the mat, the one that connects it to the mat, and the other one you get inside of and wrap it around you. So anyway, got up in the middle of the night and that's what I did. Oh, the difference in heat was amazing. Yeah, really warm after that. Bruce is already gone. He lay here until I told him he could go. He's very loyal, he's a good boy. So, it's overcast, which means it's not as cold as it should be. Thank God. Fire's out. It didn't burn all the way through, crappy wood, but it was nice to have that fire last night. Right, so this morning the plan is boil up some water, have some oats, coffee, give Bruce his breakfast. You want your breakfast? Let's see if he comes back for that. Do you want your breakfast, Bruce? You want your breakfast? Brucey, is it breakfast time? You gonna come and say hello? Oh, Reese, yes. Love you too. Oh, thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Brucey. Oh, you are a softie. Oh, you're such a softie. Tickle tummy. So, I'll do both of our breakfasts, which he'll be happy about. Thank you for licking me, Bruce, and giving me a shower in the morning. And yeah, then head off. I will come back to you when we're packed up.
Walking down to the car, got Bruce in front leading the way with his high-vis saddlebags on. Hey Brucey, he loves coming up here, don't you? What do you got in your saddlebags? Have you got your dog food? You got some other things, backup things, emergency stuff. Yeah, good boy. It's frozen. Ground is frozen, thick hoarfrost. So it's 2 hours from here back to the car. Oh, it's freezing. Toes are freezing. They'll warm up soon enough. I'm gonna do this non-stop. It's a real slog. It's a slog coming up. It's a slog going down as well. So Bruce, I was worried about him last night. I thought, is he going to be cold? So made him lie next to me and I put my jacket on top of him. Well, I woke up, he'd kicked the jacket off and he was sprawled out. Not curled up, sprawled out. He was too hot. It was -4 and he was too hot under the jacket. Anyway, this morning I woke up and he was just hardly curled up. He was just lying right, nuzzled up next to me. So he's definitely an outdoors dog. Definitely got the coat for it. Never have to worry about him and cold. He can take it. I think he likes it. I don't think he likes being hot. Some dogs prefer to be hot, but Bruce is an outdoor dog. Doesn't like the heat. Loves the cold. Right, see you back at the car.